Jadon, hello.
How are you, Sam?
How are you?
How are you?
Oh, what a start. Imagine that's your first introduction ever to this podcast.
What? How are you?
No, just two Muppets laughing. It's a mess. But Jadon, every week I check in with you. How are you dealing with the Left Back Sport Podcast internet fame?
Look, I got recognized again. So that's the second interaction.
Where were you recognized?
The gym again.
At the gym again? Did you know this person again?
I did. So basically the same thing. But no, it was good. I also knew him. But just a normal interaction in gym. But
what did he say?
Hey, you're all over TikTok.
And then what did you say?
I laughed. I don't know what to say after that.
Did you want to say you want a picture?
No. But I'm handling it well. As one would.
Doing all that one can.
Doing all that one can. But I'm good. How are you, Samuel?
Good as well. We're cooking. You know, KETS, we just recorded another podcast in this jersey.
Same
I feel
jersey.
people are going to say it's the same one.
Yeah. Same day, Muppets.
I'll wear this thing the whole week. Yo, you can tell when the people have been watching. It comes Friday.
Yeah.
Box Friday, Saturday, jersey, play Sunday. Diesel jersey. Stinky.
Smelly wellies.
Especially when it's like a jersey. Not like
But that is very nice. I did compliment him when I saw him this morning.
It's always good to compliment a
That's
person.
a very, very pristine jersey.
Would you say you're often disarmed by compliments?
I don't like receiving compliments. I get weird.
It's a weird human thing. Hey, you're pretty.
Yeah. What do you say after that?
Pretty ugly.
But I've learned to say thank you more often, like with compliments.
Yeah.
I just think it's the polite thing to do.
It's like when someone offers to pay for something or the bill at the restaurant. You mustn't do let's fake fight. Just say, thank you.
Yeah, just...
You look nice today.
Thank you. That's all you have to do. You don't have to say where you got it from, how much it was. Just say thank you.
You're also not playing tennis. You don't have to return a compliment.
There we go.
No, you don't have to say, oh, you look... I mean, well, things look...
Just take it and go, you weasels.
A weasel? How can you call a person a weasel? But as per usual, sports podcast, we cover sport.
TLB 4, baby.
They think... the haters...
This is going to be my TLB thing now. Money.
We don't have haters yet. KETS has haters.
I heard.
Real life haters.
I think we're on that path soon if we have, some controversial opinions about sport.
Well, we called Tuisova Tuivosa.
We did.
That was bad.
And Joshua instead of... Well, I called him Joshua instead of Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah. That's
got a fabulous business. Joshua, though. Anyway, we're going to start with the headlines because...
As per usual.
That's where you got to start. And then our main story today...
Spooky season.
Muti.
In sport.
Juju. Superstitions.
Witchcraft.
That's what white people call it.
Yeah. But superstitions, Muti, Juju, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
In sport and more so in the African and South African context.
Yeah. It's action-packed. Strap in and strap on.
There we go. Enjoy the ride. So the first thing we got to start with, because we'll start with cricket, being a ranked cricket podcast. And there was a very exciting upset, and there was just the most depressing upset. So let's start with the happy one. War-torn Afghanistan. Defeating the mighty English.
Jeez, the champions.
The reigning
champions. That is the exact same as Japan beating South African rugby context. So it's one of my favorite things, I think, to watch the English lose. There's something wrong with
I have the same feeling. And Australia, I don't know why. The two of them, I just don't. I can't, get to like them.
And that's why the Ashes are so lovely. Whoever wins.
We don't care. But
there's something. Do you think it's because of our colonial history?
I think so. I just think we don't like Australia. I don't know why.
Penal colony.
Yeah. But I think, the English, I think it's a bit more because of a historical context.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't be friends without the English. I mean,
but
it's true. You can see the tones here. There's
caramel.
Definitely some settler here.
Yeah, settler. But the shopkeeper around the corner from me, they're quite happy. They are Afghan.
Oh, really?
So if you know Fuzzies in the Ottery Wetton area, very, very well known corner shop.
they're quite happy that they beat the English.
They're Afghani, is that what you say?
Yeah.
Yo, people just say they're the Taliban. I mean, it's ridiculous.
They're nice guys. They're nice guys. The buys. I love them.
Okay, fuzzies. What you get? Just corner shop. Okay.
Everything. So
can you get prime there?
I'm not too sure. I don't drink prime, so I haven't seen it there. But if you want aux cables, eggs, bread, whatever,
and you like,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But it blows my mind that a country like Afghanistan can beat England, and it's so amazing. And that's sport. That's why we love sport, man. We just love
so poetic.
We love it. But then, of course, the bloody chokers.
Flippin' yum FC.
Yeah, is it choking if you're just shit? I don't know.
Well, if you shit for a long time, then probably.
Yeah, and
Netherlands.
I saw the rain coming down. I think they pronounce like Dharmashala. Dharmasala is how I would have a crack at it. But I heard the commentators chatting about it. That must be, we all think Newlands is the
pinnacle,
the most beautiful cricket ground in the world. Dharmashala
is proper, is picture perfect. I like that.
Table Mountain's beautiful. Ever heard of playing cricket under Mount Everest? I mean, I don't know what that mountain's called,
but it's proper.
Yo,
it's very beautiful,
unbelievable. Yeah. And then when it started raining, there I went, damn it!
Yeah,
the Muti, the Muti's not working. It's not working. We're gonna get screwed again because this is easy points against Nederland.
And there we go.
Speaking of colonizers. Someone on Twitter was like, Jan van Riebeck smile today.
Roelof van der Merwe was very, very chuffed, and that really, it's a bitter pill to swallow.
He loves that one.
Yeah, he loves that one, eh? That's, yeah. But,
okay. Enjoy being a nobody. No, well done. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
They call themselves the Netherlands. No one there is from the Netherlands. We lost to South Africa's D team again.
Basically.
Twice in I think it's a 12-month. Also, some people refer to that as a year. But that's... That's always like people with their kids, Yeah.
Oh,
he's 36 months.
I'm like, what the hell? Just say 1 year and whatever months.
Bitch, I did math lit. I don't know.
That is math lit. 18 months.
It just shows I didn't do math lit. I was there with the letters.
Yeah.
Circle geometry is when you know it's over. Did you do math lit?
I did maths, but I barely passed.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah. By the skin of your teeth.
Yeah. Really, that's like thick skin on my teeth. That's a post.
So where do you think we went wrong in the loss? Is it just that's a loss we were always going to take? What's going on there, Jadon?
I don't know. I think personally, like when I'm playing, it's easy for me to hype myself up against a big team. So the night before, I know I'm sleeping, I'm doing all my nutrition, all that needs to be done, like proper, not Muti, but it's easy to hype myself up against, like, for example, the English or the Australians or the Indians. But no one, with all due respect to the smaller teams, no one really wants to, it's very difficult to hype yourself up against a smaller team.
Well, it's a lose-lose. You win, you're supposed to beat them.
Correct.
You lose, it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, so I just think maybe complacency set in. Maybe, but I think the Dutch really played well, and we didn't show up. Simple.
It's I think it proves one of the things I thought about the World Cup is that we're gonna have to bat first.
We have
if
to.
we crumble under pressure. And our bowlers the same. When they bowl and they don't have a target to bowl to,
yeah.
Woo!
Doesn't lollipops.
Let's bowl 30 extras.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? Oh, if only we had another spinner who could play in India. Fucking pick Tabraiz Shamsi to play.
Simple.
I never thought I'd ever in my life be screaming that into a camera.
For Shamsi,
yeah. Pick Tabraiz.
Shoe up and call him there.
Yeah, he's cringe. Yeah. But he's very pick. We don't need Ngidi traveling around the park. We don't need Kutsia.
Nah, we don't. He was awful, eh?
Shame. But again, if we had just rolled them, you say, it's a tight game, but we end up scoring 200, tricky deck, tricky conditions. And then you go, oh, good game. We got through it, passed the pressure test. We're feeling really positive. But now we can head into the weekend. And if England beats us, then we're 2-2.
England's already 0 for 2, I think. Or 2 or 1 for 2.
1 for 2.
1 for 2. 1 for 2.
So that's a dreadful scenario to be in. And then we still must play New Zealand, Pakistan, India, and England.
And Afghanistan.
And Afghanistan. And we need I think 4 wins there. Anyway, it's just, it feels like, it's the hope that kills you.
It's typical Proteas stuff.
It's the hope that and you know what? We'll probably go on to beat India in India.
Yeah. And in a packed 130,000 stadium.
And then lose to Afghanistan.
Simple. That's just how it works. But anyway.
30 years of democracy, Jadon. And we cannot play spin. What is that about? Do we practice?
I don't know. Well, Quentin doesn't practice. That we know for sure.
We know, but it works.
So, Quentin, you keep doing what you're doing, son.
Okay, well, that's enough cricket because the rugby.
We the best music.
The
Bokke.
Bokbefok.
They hold the balls of this nation. If they squeeze it, we're upset. If they release it, we're happy. I told you before.
You said it. And I mean, we don't have to speak too much about this. Everyone who's got a phone and a ring light has covered the box. But what a game. The weirdest thing about it, and I thought he had a very good game. I think he's a consistent performer. I think he is one of the best hookers in the world. He just has someone called Malcolm Marx who usually starts ahead of him. But Bongi Umbanambi got man of the match. And I think he was the most surprised person in the world.
Me too.
So, because I mean, Colby, Creel.
It's a bit.
We said a bit on KETS when we chatted about it, but Creel, rebrand of the year.
Yeah.
Jesse Peel to Jesse Creel. The GOAT.
But no, I also didn't really back Jesse Creel going into the World Cup. I thought Easthuizen should have maybe started over him. But Jesse Creel, if you're watching this, you have earned my respect. You played like a flippin' Trojan. And just that picture at the end.
Unbelievable.
That picture, it says everything. The assist with Colby, the hard yards and the work rate off the ball. I mean, flip.
He's him. Who's going to carry the boat?
Yeah.
Jesse Creel is.
Jesse Creel.
It just shows, that's just a guy. He shows up week in, week out. He's had a very good World Cup at large. Yeah. But again, when you're fighting for a spot with Lekanyo arm, pre-injury.
Yeah. And a centre pairing is very important. So crucial. You can have 2 good centres, but they're not a good pairing.
Yeah.
Then it's just unfortunate.
Well, we've got an hilarious one because neither of them can pass.
Ooh.
Damien and Creel.
They just run.
But now Creel can score.
No, he can do most things. No. Anton Dupont, he's a flippin' bowler. Dupont, if you're French.
I think quite a lot of South Africa, for the first time ever, was like, okay. Because we don't compete against the French a lot. We don't have we're not part of the Six Nations, obviously. Even though there was that whole thing, we're going to be part of them. They're like, foot check, because we're racist. No.
He's a bowler.
They're levels.
There's levels.
They're levels.
You can do anything.
When Faf and Kobus look a bit like behind the game, you're cooking then, because those guys are killers.
Nah, he's the real deal.
And to come off injury, all the pressure.
The scrum cap, uncomfortable scrum cap. Nah.
Yes.
He's the flippin' real deal.
He can bowl.
He can play.
You'd want him in your touchies team on Cap Spain.
You do. And he seems so mysterious. He doesn't give any emotion. Yeah.
Stoic.
Stone cold Steve Austin.
You know what it is? He's probably post-dumb. We're like, he's so mysterious. Bonjour.
Yeah.
Ça va.
Yeah.
So, no, before everyone's like, best player in the world. Yeah. I was like, shut up.
He's probably the best player in the world.
In terms of influence.
Yes.
Just so clever. Anyway.
Speaking of influence,
yes.
Johnny Fraudsten.
Who does he play for? Johnny Sexton.
What
a career. He's a fraud?
I think so. There's a lot. Well, fraud in the sense of there was a lot of hype. Bring it home, Johnny, and Ireland's gonna win, blah, blah, blah. And quarterfinal, curse again. So
Muti.
But yeah, New Zealand, huge victory against the Irish.
Sure, what a game.
What a game.
That was also a cracker. That was also one of the best games I've ever watched.
Yeah.
This World Cup is the gift that keeps on giving. No. Sex Magic, as many refer to him as. No, I don't think he's a fraud. I just think he's so unlikable because if you're Irish, he's your
you did
guy.
say this, yeah.
Who's the greatest flower of all time?
Dan Carter, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I agree.
I'm a South African fan, but I think he's the best player I've seen play the game.
Dan Carter. I think ITV did this thing. Johnny Wilkinson works for ITV, so everyone's like, Johnny Wilkinson's Johnny Wilkinson's a great. But I agree. Dan Carter.
Nah, there's that left foot.
Different gravy.
Different kettle of fish.
Yeah. And he was untouchable, you know, literally at times. I remember when Bismarck literally smashed him
that's
with a tackle.
That's the last time we touched him.
You tackled him too hard.
I remember watching that game in Spur for breakfast. Yeah.
For breakfast?
At Spur. 20 Rand breakfast, unreal breakfast.
Oh, that is unreal.
That was unreal. 19 Rand 95.
Hey, it's also my birthday.
Yeah.
Superboy.
So Clive Woodward as well. For those of you who don't know, he's the former English coach and also English rugby player. He said that...
he also does a good imitation of being a giant tonsil / dick.
Yeah.
If you want to know what a small penis looks like, just look at Clive Woodward.
Yeah, so he said the Northern Hemisphere do a clean sweep in the quarterfinals. Because it's Northern Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere, every single game. And only England went through.
Yep.
So what do we have to say to you, Mr.
And
Clive?
again, barely.
Against Fiji.
Again, yeah.
No structure, just vibes.
No structure. You go to the training camp. Who brought the coconut? We done forgot the coconuts. Okay. Strength and conditioning.
Yeah, that's all they do.
No, Fiji, what a World Cup, eh? But I want to... There's only one person that pisses off my dad more than anyone.
Who?
And that's Sir. Take that away. We don't recognize it in this country. Clive Woodward. He riles my dad up.
Really?
The whole week, my dad will read it. One article there. Whoa.
And your dad's...
Puts it on the family group chat. Says, read this.
Yeah.
So when we score, he says, Clive Woodward.
Yeah. Eat a penis, Clive.
eat one of them. So... Yeah, but coming back to Fiji, oh God, it was depressing watching them exit, especially to England. And again, I'm at this point with the reffing where I don't know if it's just because I'm super biased. Because you just want Fiji to win. So you view it from that lens.
Yeah.
So any call is against
Fiji, yeah.
Like the Irish were like, oh, the ref was so against us. I thought as a neutral, the ref was like, pretty pro-Ireland.
I thought the
couple
same.
Against New Zealand. But the Irish like, oh, cheated, way above. You know, so it's always going to, I think, feel like that. But again, it did feel like Fiji throughout the competition got shafted.
Short end of the stick, I agree. I agree.
Well, like, as I like to call it.
Here we go.
Here we go. I abort it.
Okay.
I saw it. I was like, it's not.
But to be honest, I think to be a ref, in a rugby game, I think it's tougher than a ref in different other sports, like a football ref or hockey. And I think
just the
so much to look
ambiguity, the speed. And I thought Ben O'Keefe was really good in terms of how he wasn't influenced by the crowd. If I've got 80,000 French baguettes shouting at me, I'm there blowing for Dupont. Where do you want it?
Yeah, here we go, sir. Sir Antoine.
Especially if it's a good-looking baguette.
Here we go, madame.
Excusez-moi.
Yeah.
So, no,
I do feel for them, yeah.
And we've got him in the final, the semi-final as well.
Really?
Ben O'Keefe, yeah. So we had him for Ireland, France, and now England.
And he probably will ref the final.
If he has
or Wayne Barnes.
Yeah.
Is Wayne Barnes doing the other semi?
I'm not sure on that. Yeah.
That French ref is good. I don't know what's his name.
Reynald, but he fucked the Fijians.
Well, besides that, I think he was.
Yeah.
No, didn't he umpire ref the Wales and Argentina game?
No, that was.
Jaco got injured. Did you see?
That was Jaco. He got injured. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What a donkey.
What a dumbass. What ref gets injured?
What a jackass.
Just have to run.
Yeah. Oh, my word. But the best part of Fiji England is when Levani Botia, the 7, he's getting into a kerfuffle with Curry, and he just squares up. I don't know when last I saw someone square up there. Not like they usually.
Yeah.
But he was
collars and stuff.
He was ready, like that man. Fucking dishes out beatings.
He looks huge. Well, he is huge, and he looks flipping strong.
What is the best sport fight ever?
Cheapers.
That's obviously not your MMA or boxing.
Yeah, I know ice hockey has quite hectic fights, but the worst fight that I've seen was the Malice in the Palace. I don't know if you watched the Netflix doc Untold on Netflix. It was the Malice in the Palace. It was a what's his name now? Meta World Peace. I can't get to his previous name. That is his name now. I changed
DJ Khaled. No, Meta World Peace.
I can't get to his previous government name, but he had a fight with a fan in a stadium. So yeah, I can't really get to the
Cantona or worse?
Worse. The Malice in the Palace. It's a very infamous fight in basketball.
I think the best one for me is Habib McGregor.
When he jumped over
Madison Square Garden, when he jumped
Apparently he jumped to fight Danis, yeah.
It was the first fight Danis had ever been in.
But yeah, that's also a proper scuffle.
And it was a big thing because it was like UFC in New York. I think New York, I'm pretty sure. Speak under correction. But
that is crazy.
And getting brawled.
Yeah.
McGregor, Kaki.
Is that the one when he broke his... No, that was
against Dustin.
Oh, correct.
Dustin. I've got a titanium shin bound.
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm allergic to that McGregor accent. Ish.
Proper 12.
What football are we going to chat about briefly before we get into the Muti?
No, there's obviously this international break, which is probably the worst thing ever invented. But I did...
we should just say, come to the World Cup week before.
What?
International teams, week before you do your rondos.
And then?
We pick you on FIFA. We pick who we want to come.
On the rondos?
Yeah, that's your training for the week.
Okay.
Then who's the best?
Okay.
We don't need training. We don't need Gareth
We need a World Cup for World Cup. How about that? A tournament before the World Cup and the top 32, they go through.
I was about to say, you ever heard of the Confed Cup, mate? We peaked too soon.
Yeah, we peaked too soon.
We were in the Confed Cup final against Spain, 2009.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
So we lost, obviously.
Yeah, penalties.
We beat Brazil in the semi.
We peaked too soon, a bit like Milnerton Hockey Club. Coming soon to not a TV, an AstroTurf. Yeah.
Speaking about Bafana,
yes,
we drew 0-0 with Eswatini. May I ask you, what country is Eswatini?
I was about to say, what is Eswatini?
Swaziland. It's the old Swaziland. So they changed the name.
Oh.
0-0 with Swaziland. Oh, Eswatini.
0-0. After full 90
minutes. At home. We didn't go play there. Well,
Soccer City.
Eswatini is around the corner from us. So
they also were playing at home.
Yeah. But apparently, Hugo Broos also speaks out against the PSL.
What's he saying? What's Hugo Broos saying now?
Well, when he was the coach of, I think it was Cameroon, he said that when he asked the federation for maybe like a training camp, they would, stop the league, the Cameroonian, the Premier League there. And everything was just given to him because the national team takes preference.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you would ask maybe the PSL for maybe a week break just because he needs a training camp elsewhere or, just, go over things. And they would say no. So basically what is implying
is... Zimbabwe.
It's giving Zimbabwe. But apparently, what he's basically implying is that the PSL takes preference over the national team, which he doesn't understand. And I think I agree with him.
Yeah, but surely like... the Premier League, you've got international breaks baked in, or
but I mean, most players that play for Bafana play in South Africa. Maybe they have maybe 4 or 5 out of a 32 or 23 man squad that plays abroad.
Sure.
So I mean, you can obviously leave the 4 or 5 out because they're definitely making it.
Yeah.
Or definitely in the squad.
No, I see what you're saying. So he wants more camps.
Yeah.
Money talks.
And we have the money.
Yeah. But so who's paying us?
I don't know.
Oh, Hugo. He as inspirational as Rassie is, Hugo is that uninspirational. He's a donkey.
I don't think he's a donkey. I just think he brings a lot of down where you should be uplifting,
There's an obsession, well, I've noticed maybe, but in PSL and South African football with white coaches. There was one of the funniest fan TV rants. I think it was Kaizer Chiefs. A fan was just screaming like, "We need a white coach."
Yes. I'm away to TV.
Yeah. And then the interviewer was like, and some white players like, "No."
But no, there's an obsession with a white coach.
White coach, yeah. I feel that's pretty fucked up.
I think it's because of Clive Barker, R.I.P. The coach that won the 96 AFCON. We won the World Cup in 95, or 96, yeah.
Not 96. To be confused with Barker Haynes. Also a goat.
Is he a goat?
Yo. Yeah. Also, R.I.P. to my gran, who I used to watch Issy Dingo with.
R.I.P. Gran.
Dead thing. Yeah. You know how it goes. Anyway, so we lost to Eswatini.
Well, not a lose.
When did we? No. Well, that's a loss.
That's a loss.
10-0. So when did Swaziland change to Eswatini?
No.
This show is full of political surprises.
Yeah. Well, come here for your sports and political updates.
Again, as Dana White says, if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
My dad calls Dana White Dana White. He only recently got my name right recently. So recently, you want to say recently one more time? Recently. What a mess this show is, but it's a lot of fun. It's
spooky season. It's time.
It's time for the main story of the week, and this is what we do. So I'd like to just take a quick break. If you're watching, to just hit a like. Move on over to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review.
Comment
5 stars. 5 stars, please. Please. And then continue with it.
Yeah. Look, we don't want to be internet sensations, but if you would like, please drop that like.
Drop it, and just get screenshot Jadon and send him to your best girlfriend. Maybe she's interested. Maybe she's not.
Maybe she's not.
The world is your oyster. When was the last time you sent a rogue DM? You just DM'd someone.
Oh, I don't DM.
They DM me.
I'm one of those that, likes the story. I don't know, boy math apparently.
You like the story?
Yeah, then I wait.
And then you wait for long.
Yeah, but I don't think, DM. Maybe a couple of months ago.
Okay. And I mean like a rogue DM is someone you don't know.
No, not a rogue DM.
A rogue DM is just it's a cold call.
Yeah,
then the
shot in the dark.
Hi. Yeah. No, it's rough out here. But now it's time, as we've said many a time, for our main story. Okay, we're done with this. We promise.
We're not done. That's coming later. But yeah, so Muti in sport, more in a South African sport context and obviously in Africa. So while Willies and I were doing our research, we said, what the heck is Muti?
What the hell?
Because everybody hears about Muti and, the Sangomas and the witchcraft, blah, blah. But we went into a deep dive saying...
Research.
Journalism. There we go. What is Muti? So basically Muti is translated means either medicine or poison. Okay, which is also, that's the first red flag.
Yin, yang.
And it's just basically, herbs that they use. Sometimes maybe they would slaughter an animal or things like that. And it's designed to maybe give positive healing, influence or involving cleansing. And maybe just, bringing about the good to a situation.
Yes, whole host of reasons why people engage in the practice of using Muti.
Exactly.
From good to bad.
So you have apparently there would be black Muti and then white Muti. So the white Muti would be the good, the healing, the cleansing.
From Constantia.
Whereas the bad would bring about maybe misfortune, illness, and potentially death. If you'd obviously use the black Muti. This is what we obviously researched. So don't blame us if we are giving the wrong things, but this was from
Wikipedia.
Not Wikipedia, no. But it's from a
journal.
From a journal, from a paper.
A reputable journal.
Yeah, that was
cited,
published and cited
sources
for university.
Unbelievable scene. So I didn't know that Muti was categorized into those two things.
Yeah, white and black Muti. I'm not going to butcher the names. It's obviously in Zulu, but they do provide us with two names. That's white and black Muti. I'm not going to butcher it. I'm not going to.
Mlungu Muti, a black Muti.
No. Mlungu's white.
Yeah, white.
So what is a black Muti?
I said a black.
Yeah, it's black Muti.
What is black?
What do you mean? Black Muti. Oh, black.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
So how do we know what Mlungu is?
Mlungu is white.
I know.
White man. Oh,
that's
boss.
what I'm saying. That's why I said Mlungu Muti.
Let's move on. But yeah, so
Whoa.
now we ask. Now the question is posed: why would you use it, and who actually uses Muti?
Yes.
In sports.
So one of the craziest stories is during the group play in the 2010 World Cup, not to be confused with foreplay, the South African national team sought the services of a traditional healer, Sangoma, for help in its final match against France. The stakes were high. We had to win and then rely on other people, as Bafana Bafana always do. Lose, and we'd be the first ever tournament hosts not to advance out of the group stages, which of course happened. Now, according to Vice and the Sangoma, a man by the name or the surname of Madelo, the South African Football Association agreed to pay him 100,000 rand
for this.
Yes.
Okay.
For his Muti
services.
But South Africa subsequently defeated France and then lost in
going through.
Yeah. It was sort of goal differential. So it didn't work. But then the real thing is that a year later, so this is obviously in 2011, Madelo claimed that the South African Football Association had only paid him a tenth. So only 10K. But for me...
It's a lot.
And also it's right.
Yeah.
Your Muti didn't work.
Didn't work, yeah. We're not going to pay the full amount.
It's like anything. You pay a bit and then if it works, you pay the full thing.
Yeah.
So... But then he vowed that he would use his powers to prevent Bafana Bafana from winning any non-friendly match until his full price was met. And then from that point forward, the South African national team failed to win until June 2012, 2 matches after Madelo himself announced that the debt had been settled.
Ooh! Muti! Yo! That's hectic.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and it's obviously used at completely different levels. It's not just Bafana Bafana. There's I think it was the Soweto derby is such a big thing.
Yeah.
I watched a video when we were looking at the sort of topic of I think it's first a Pirates member of staff. He goes. And you can see him spraying a liquid around the goal.
Correct.
And then the Chiefs coach is like, fuck this. Or member of staff, not the coach.
Yeah.
Jumps over, then gets his own stuff.
Yeah. So if you watch the build-up for PSL match, you'd always see the players that would do a pitch inspection just to see the field and how it is, blah, 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 how it's prepared. And then they would go to the goalposts. And they would always stand in the goalposts or around the goalposts for about, I don't know, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And then they would block whatever happens behind them. So I don't know who's, doing stuff behind them, but they'd block the cameras from seeing what's actually happening.
So to this day?
To this day. So not so much in the PSL now, because obviously there's a lot of different cameras. But I know in the semi-pro environment, because I have a couple of friends that do play semi-pro, and they've obviously said stories about where they'd maybe go for trials. I know there was one occasion where my one friend knew someone that went for trials in KZN. And apparently in KZN, the Muti is way worse than it is here in the Western Cape or in Cape Town. And obviously when you go on a trial, they'd give you accommodation and everything like that. And his bedding was always wet. I don't know what. It's not because he pissed himself.
Yeah, wizzy.
But it was always wet. So you would maybe complain to the housemaster or whoever's there and say, listen here, my bedding's wet. Can you maybe just change it? And you'd see them change it for dry bedding. And then we'd come back from the training ground. Then it's wet again. And then also, the training gear that he actually trained in was also wet. And he was the only one that would be, this training gear is wet. It's just
and did he make it?
No.
Yo,
so I'm not going to say the club, but it's in KZN, and just I don't know. I just think they have maybe
Crazy Town.
Yeah.
Yo, so it's just something else. But what I found interesting is that also another article I read, not related to women. I mean to Muti, but women. And women being taboo in changing rooms. A journalist wrote that from my experience, I know that most clubs, Pirates in particular, find it taboo to have a woman in the dressing room.
some years back, I was almost eaten alive by one of the older security guards at the old FNB stadium when I took a colleague down with me to the dressing room to get the team starting lineup, and we screamed, "What are you doing here?" Pushing me back and saying, "We don't want women in here."
I know there's...
that's quite awesome. That's, that doesn't check out with 2023 Western culture.
Yeah, I know there's... Pirates is very obviously traditionally very, very, steeped. And I know there was a group of women, I think they called the Magnificent Seven, seven women, and they were allowed in the change room just because they were from Orlando, and they were more so like the mothers of the club.
Okay.
So I think if it's not them,
yes,
and someone else that's not like really involved in the club, maybe like a spouse or something to that effect, then I don't think they're allowed in the change room.
Interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Crazy, but I mean, people go, how is that possible? Do you think female physios, that sort of stuff?
Surely. I don't know. But if they're part of the club, the team, and they work there, then I think they're allowed in the change room.
Surely.
But outsiders, I don't think.
Okay. Well, I mean, how many outsiders are allowed in Manchester United's dressing room?
Exactly.
But it's fascinating. Jomo Cosmos.
It's in Corsi.
Yeah. Apparently, they love the old Muti. So they used to put the fear of the devil into opposition teams who were visiting the Pam Brink Stadium. Don't know if it's still called that, in Springs, by spraying a white substance on the away dressing room walls.
White Muti.
Yeah. And this was believed just actually to be milk, but it would have had that effect. Of course, Cosmos have been up and down a lot.
I think they're in the 3rd division now, So surely it's not working.
Maybe you must get better milk.
Maybe we must get some full cream there.
Yeah.
They spraying something else, 2%.
And I mean, this is all across the continent. It's not something unique to South Africa.
Yeah.
So former Ghana coach Goran Stevanovic.
Again, white coaches in...
Yep.
There we go.
He believed that black magic is real and not just a fantasy. He ascribed his team's failure in the 2012 AFCON due to his players who tried to outshine each other using witchcraft.
So I would maybe use witchcraft against my own teammates so I can play better.
I can play better, yeah.
That's whack.
Well, maybe you're just bad at coaching.
Maybe.
that's a nice out as well.
Yeah, Muti. Yeah, and they'll believe it.
Yeah. He said, I saw someone there. They said, but you haven't done video analysis? He said, they sprayed my laptop. You're nuts to think of. I want to ask you, how is Muti different to, say, maybe someone praying, right, as a belief system, because this could be your belief system, or just having a general superstition?
Well,
because I think it's not.
I think there is a slight difference. I think when you pray, I think you basically asking your higher power for maybe strength, maybe some good fortune for yourself. I don't think you'd pray bad.
But you could call that white Muti.
Exactly. That's what I agree to with an extent. So I think that you'd never pray. I would never pray badly or for someone else's misfortune or illness or something like that. I'd rather ask if I can have strength so I can do well.
Yes.
And hoping that I can obviously now outshine my opponent. But I would never pray something that he can do something, bad or whatever. Where I think if you're using Muti in the negative sense, like the black Muti that we obviously spoke about, I feel like that that's different because you're basically trying to use spirits and forces to bring about misfortune and harm to your opponents, which I think that is
interesting.
Different.
Yeah, no, again, I'm not saying, being Muslim or Christian is dumb. No, of course not. But I'm saying in the same breath, I don't think you can then say someone who maybe has more sort of traditional African
roots,
beliefs. Yeah. You can't then say, "Hey, you dumb."
Yeah.
As well, because it's a belief in the spiritual, the divine. So I think that's where I get tripped up. I like religion. I think it's good for the most part, of course, but I don't like it when people then say, my religion is better than your religion.
I agree.
Because that's not possible. From a neutral standpoint.
Look, I don't believe in Muti because just obviously it's against my religion. But if you believe in it and you find that it works for you, then by all means you carry on what you're doing. If it doesn't affect me, then I'm happy with that.
It's also, and this is where it comes into our next sort of thing where we're going to link it to. It's also ritualistic. Prayer, therapeutic, ritualistic.
Yeah.
You do it before the game. You think, if I haven't done it, I'm going to lose out. a superstition could be. It started as a joke, and then I always did it. Anytime I went onto a sports field, I put my left foot forward because it was always about putting your best foot forward.
Okay.
So if I cross the boundary rope or cross the white lines on a Astro versus a cricket field, I'd step on with my left foot.
Okay.
Now, if I sometimes forgot to put my right foot, I went, and like if I didn't score runs, it's because I was shit. It wasn't because I
put my right foot forward. Yeah.
Because I can kick with both feet. And
Santi Cazorla.
That's it. Oh no, that's a different guy. I thought you were talking about Santiago Nunes.
No, Santi Cazorla.
Arsenal. Yeah. David Beckham.
No, he couldn't kick left.
Becks.
That's right. Well, I know him for his right foot.
Right foot, but he could kick with both.
I mean, he's professional.
Yeah. He go move. Yeah. So, and it got me thinking, like, what are some global superstitions? Because Ronaldo apparently has 1 million.
Okay.
He plays one half with one hairstyle and the second half with the other style. Does he change it? I've never seen that. Because I've never been paying attention.
Okay.
So it will be something we investigate.
So if you do watch the Saudi leagues, then maybe just check his hair from time to time. So what if he cuts, let's say for example, he cuts a bliss or like a buzz cut. He's not going to change his hair.
That's true.
He can't like move it.
Who wrote this article?
Yeah.
So there are lots of guys like Marco Reus. He goes left foot. I think that's quite a common one.
So left shin guard, right shin guard, left sock, left boot, right boot.
But I would say the vast majority of sport people, especially at a high level, have a routine.
Yeah. You must have a rhythm.
And it was one of these flippin' useless, self-help, podcasts. Like, oh, you're going to, the usual. But I heard something quite interesting. It's called decision fatigue.
Okay.
So if you wake up in the morning and you have to now decide what to wear, that's your first decision that you have to make. Okay. What pants am I wearing?
Okay.
So you
and
made
it takes a toll.
It's not like death by 1,000 cuts. So you made 10 decisions by the time. It's like if you had 4 toothpastes. You go, which toothpaste this morning? I don't know anyone who has 4 toothpastes. You pick it up.
Yeah. Brush. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's the same thing with getting ready. Like, what if you know it's left boot, sock.
Okay. I understand it now.
That sort of thing. Djokovic, bouncy, always in odd numbers.
With the bottles.
Wedgie. You must always get the wedgie out.
Oh, yes. I know Tony Kroos also. He plays with the same pair of boots, or the same model, since 2014. And he has to clean his own
What are those
boots.
again? They're iconic.
11 Pros, the white and blue ones. That's iconic. And I don't know why, I do know why. He's that good that Adidas have made an exception for him to make that boot just for him.
Even after being discontinued.
So I know that the big corporate companies don't like their players to wear older versions of boots. Because they can't sell.
They want to sell.
So Tony Kroos is one exception where they would allow him and make boots for him.
Amazing.
From 2014, yeah.
Yeah. I always wonder what the difference is from what retails, and this is across the board, from I know what it is with cricket bats, because I obviously played quite a lot of cricket, saw how the sausage was made. None of them are using... It's just stickers, brother.
It is.
If you buy a GM bat,
it's not from the same factory.
You buy stickers.
Yeah.
I would literally see JP Dumouli's bats getting made at DNP in Ottery.
Yes.
And then them literally still putting their stickers on.
Yeah.
So
also the football
not the DMP stickers. Sorry, the whatever he sponsored. He had SS at the time, Grey Nichols. A few.
Yeah. But also the football boots. There are slight differences.
Of course, you buy a pair of football boots. You're like, yeesh.
It's not the same.
Zero protection.
It's not the same. There's a lot of different modification that go through the boot.
Tennis rackets.
Exactly. It's just a marketing thing.
Of course.
If you see from afar, because you're not going to see how many studs Ronaldo has. You're not going to count the studs at Sportsman's Warehouse.
Yeah. Or even just maybe the overall quality of it. There's no way Ronaldo's playing.
It's literally just a marketing thing. So just buy your Olympic boots.
But I wanted to just reaffirm that sort of that juju and Muti or superstition is not. I feel like people like beating up Africa and South Africa, and where they're like, oh yeah, that's crazy. And that's why I wanted to chat about superstition and religion and Muti and all that sort of things. But it led me to this hilarious story. So Barry Fry, who was the manager of Birmingham City from 1993 to 1996. So during his time there, Fry admitted to peeing in each of the 4 corners of the team's pitch. Why? Because according to Fry, there was a gypsy curse on the team and peeing in the corners was enough to lift it. Did it work? Well, not really. And in Fry's own words, we won for a while, then started losing, then they sacked me. So, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be taking a wizzy.
Yeah, but I know they are like, because of watching Peaky Blinders, the gypsies and all that sort of stuff. So Birmingham City, this the same city that obviously the Peaky Blinders are shot, or when they, where they resided at.
Yes.
So I'd believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Believe it or not, we don't care.
Yeah.
And my favorite one was that in 2008, right, it's giving Zimbabwe.
It's giving Zimbabwe.
The Midland Portland Cement football team. How's that for a name?
What a name, Cement.
Let's just go through that again. The Midland Portland Cement football team was struggling. So the head coach ordered the entire 16-man squad to go into be ritually cleansed in the Zambezi River.
Where's the Zambezi?
In Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think it goes through Botswana. I don't know. So the problem is that swimming is prohibited in the river because of the hippopotamus, very dangerous creature, most deadly creature alive, and crocodiles. So the 16-man team went in and 15 came out. And if that's not the most efficient way of dropping a player, I don't know. And as the article reports, the team, needless to say, lost their next fixture. So, it's a mess.
The Zambezi with hippos and crocodiles, and you want to go swim.
I've done the rafting there.
Yeah.
And I hate water. I hate swimming, that sort of stuff. Don't hate water, like drinking it. Enjoy a pool day where you can see.
Yeah.
But we went there, and the guy was like, okay, you can jump out now. This is a nice place to swim. And you're falling in and out of the thing, and it chucks you around anyway. And he was like, quickly, in crocodiles. I was like, what? And then you must jump in. And some guys are like, to lift yourself out of the water.
Into a raft.
It's like he's got to dunk you, and then you pop out and he pulls you. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I don't even swim like in a tidal pool with blue bottles. let alone a flipping crocodile.
Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? So
I don't think this is what we were supposed to do.
And then the last one, which is going to help us segue onto a brief stint of the UFC, is a UFC star and former, I think he was middleweight champ. Maybe not. Light heavyweight. In between. Leota Machiga. No, I'm saying I can't remember what weight class he fought at.
Light featherweight.
He drank his own urine. Yeah.
Would you drink your own urine? I think I would if it's survival.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
but not for fun.
I do a lot of things to survive.
Yeah.
So, anyway, and that's we go in betting picks. All right, because we missed out for a few weeks running now.
Yeah, we both lost our bet.
Yeah. I did win big this weekend.
Huh?
I put 300 Rand on South Africa.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I went.
Were they the underdogs? Were they the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Paid out pretty nicely.
Nice.
But it's against my rule because 20 Rand's my max. But I was so confident that we were going to beat the French.
Okay.
And I was like, with those odds, surely.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah. 2.25 on Betway. Yeah. Mr. Trick. There's
you didn't tell me, but anyway, yeah.
I'm rich.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as you know, the other thing I love to bet on, well, as Jadon knows, I haven't told anyone else really. UFC. It's my ultimate favorite. Love building. It very rarely pans out. But I've got 2 strong picks for you.
Who's fighting this week?
Well, we've got late replacements.
Okay.
We've got Alexander Volkanovski, Alexander the Great, taking on Islam Makhachev.
So wait, who pulled out?
Charles
Oliveira.
Charlie Olives. Charles the Bronx Oliveira pulled out. The GOAT. I love him. Everyone loves him. But again, Alex, big underdog. Big underdog.
No, I don't think he's going to win.
I think he's going to get it done.
I don't think.
I think bet the house.
I think he's going to win.
Makhachev.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, bet the house.
How can he win? He hasn't been training for
11 days off the cup because you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. One of the greatest UFC fighters ever. That's how we're going to remember him. Volkanovski.
He ain't winning.
He's gonna win.
What's the other one?
Bet the house. The other one is impossible to bet on, and that's Kamaru Usman, former champ. He's moving up in weight to fight Hamzat Chimaev. No. I think it's a middleweight bout.
I'm confusing him with Francis Ngannou.
Yes, that's true. Different people.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry.
I wouldn't bet on that one. I would definitely bet the house though on Alexander Volkanovski getting the job done. I just feel it in my balls. Okay. And when your balls tingle, it's a sign that the Muti.
That's good.
That's it. That's us for the week.
Yeah. That is enjoyable.
Have a lovely weekend.
Yeah.
Don't bet too much on sports.
Or a week, whenever you're watching this.
Yeah, whenever.
Whenever.
Shaka.
Yeah.
It's all good. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I'd like to formally apologize, but we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.